Today we celebrate the presentation of the Lord when Mary and Joseph presented Jesus in the Jerusalem temple. The presentation of the baby Jesus in the temple took place 40 days after Jesus was born. The 40-day period was determined by the Book of Leviticus's requirement for a Jewish woman who gave birth to a male child. According to chapter 12 of the Book of Leviticus, after giving birth to a male child, a Jewish woman remains ritually impure for 7 days. That's in Leviticus chapter 12. On the 8th day, the mother is to take her baby boy to be circumcised. For this reason, in chapter 2, Luke states that at the end of 8 days, when he was circumcised, he was called Jesus. After Jesus was circumcised, the Book of Leviticus required Mary, as an observant Jewish woman, to undergo an additional 33 days of purification. At the end of the total of 40 days of purification, the Book of Leviticus also required Mary to go to the Jerusalem temple and offer to a priest a lamb, or, if she could not afford a lamb, 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. The priest would then accept the animal sacrifice to make atonement for her, and she shall be clean. Leviticus 12. Psalm 24, that the church chose for today's readings, comments Bram Petrie, is related to the presentation of Jesus in the temple. The psalm reads, "Lift up, O gates, your lintels. Reach up, you ancient portals, that the King of glory may come in." This verse is a prophecy that one day the gates of the Jerusalem temple, the doors of the Jerusalem temple, will be opened by priests to welcome the Lord, the King of glory. Jesus fulfills this prophecy by being brought into the temple by Mary and Joseph after the priests open the temple doors. However, Jesus fulfills this prophecy in a surprising way. Instead of striding into the temple as a powerful, mature king, Jesus is brought into the temple as a seemingly helpless little baby, cradled protectively in Mary, his mother's arms. In Jesus' little form as a baby, God reveals his power, explains Benedict XVI. For the powerlessness of a child has become the proper expression of God's omnipotence. For the only force God employs is the silent force of truth and love. How often, Benedict XVI writes, we wish that God would show himself stronger, that he would strike decisively, defeating evil and creating a better world. All ideologies of power justify themselves in exactly this way. They justify the destruction of whatever would stand in the way of progress and the liberation of humanity. We suffer on account of God's patience, and yet we need his patience. God, who became a lamb, tells us that the world is saved by the crucified one, not by those who crucified him. The world is redeemed by the patience of God. It is destroyed by the impatience of man. Today, on the feast of the presentation of the little baby Jesus as the King of glory in the temple by a poor Jewish couple, Mary and Joseph, remind us how God displays his power. God ordinarily chooses to reveal his power through patience, love, and truth. May God bless you all.